She's not saying
I'm trying to tell you that
Libet just said.
No, she said the bowl is the barrier.
The bowl is the barrier. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yes,
not
and
the embalmment.
I said, if the bowl now, you're saying if the bowl was not there, you would believe it's embalmment, right?
If the salt was on his body, right?
Yeah.
Because Freedom just told you that there are different types of embalmment, right? You immerse the what's it called? The corpse inside spices. Right? So let's assume the salt was placed all over his body. Then but this time around, the salt was not on his body. It was just in a bowl.
Darusha did not state bowl.
Lizzie, darling.
Wait, please. No, we are not arguing. We're trying to get a conversation.
And that's what I want to clarify. You see, because we
the eyewitness who did the job.
We have other things we're going to discuss.
Yes, we
don't want to dwell on salt and bowl. You see,
we will dwell on it because we are having this argument. Darusha embalm Mohbad locally, in a local way.
Darusha did not embalm Mohbad.
It didn't embalm me. Let's be factual.
Baba said go.
Yes.
It's about a billionaire coming from Abuja to Lagos. Everybody has his way of doing his work. So let us not blame anybody. Yeah, let us not blame anybody.
You think
so I'm a poor man, and I left Abuja to come and Papariano.
Family call. Okay, just keep talking.
you display any form of evidence in law, either bodily evidence, document, or alter its position with anything, put anything around it, that means you've tampered with the state it was. Because the state it was, since it is a corpse that needs to be investigated, you are not supposed to tamper with it further than how it was. Now, of course, we understand that people might move that body, but the tampering, where you will look at the tampering is, for example, someone died, you've taken the person to the hospital. Of course, you will carry the person to the hospital. You've carried the body. But there are certain things you do not do with the body. Number one, you don't put cotton wools in the nostrils. You don't wear new clothes for the body. You keep it at the state it was when it was certified. Now, they are using the word certified that is confirmed dead, or we require inquest into it, which means it will require further investigation. Now, in this case, putting anything on that body, you've tampered with it. Putting anything in the nursery and etc., according to law, you have tampered with it. Law is very explicit. Now, if you now say he embalmed, he did not embalm, you see, across, just like Prince K said, that he has seen it before, that they played something. Now, does that thing has effects on that thing when you place it on it? What was the aim of placing it on it? It's not like we put cloth over it to say, let's just cover the body. But you place it on it to achieve something. What were you achieving?
But the question remains...
Sorry, ma. Sorry, ma.
What does he achieve?
Now, what I'm trying to say is this. Every action acts a motive. For example, there is motive for you to say you are closing the ears of
the ears was not closed, though. In case you don't know.
Wait, Freedom, aristocrats, please, I want to ask you a question.
Have you seen that video?
Please. In case I don't know, according to the public account of Mr. Joseph Aloba, which the police confirmed in their preliminary report, I think someone should play that audio so that we understand the state at which was reported to police. Then if some things are not working right, then we can begin to question it. Because at the end of the day, neither me or you was at that position, was there at that day or anything. Everyone, including the police, relied on the testimony of the people around the corpse. Yes. Just let me finish. Both testimony and account means the same thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
on the testimony of the people. Now, from those testimony we have all heard and read, they said in those testimony that they put cotton wool in his nosary, his ears.
They only talked about Mr. Aloba's son. You see, I'm not trying to
you are not getting my point. Wait. Sorry.
Video evidence. I just want us to be
What
clear.
video evidence?
Have you
video
seen
evidence?
Video? Yes.
What video? Video of the cops?
Yes, in the ambulance.
In the ambulance. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. In that ambulance. Wait, please. In that ambulance, was there something in his ears, in his nostrils?
None.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Now.
That's how he was picked from Lekki.
Wait. You said in the ambulance. The account of the father of the deceased, according to the police, is what we should look at, because that was an official statement that the police were. If anybody has that audio of the former commissioner of Lagos State, we can play it to guide us so that we know if those things don't exist, then we say, it is not needed. But let us listen to the preliminary report account of the police when the police said Mr. Joseph Aloba and Miss or Mrs. Wunmi Aloba were the complainants. What did they read? That is a public document, and we will follow that public document. You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
so it helps all of us to argue within the limit of what we know and not our assumptions.
Okay, sorry, aristocrat, can I say something, please? Prince K Crown, I think, we should not be going back and forth regarding this whole petition about this embalmment. Reason for me being that, number one, a petition...
Please, before you continue, I want us to we are having a discourse here, so we don't want to. It's not a debate. We're not attacking.
Yes,
but
yes.
We are trying to pass the right
information. Yes.
And enlightening everyone.
Yes, and that's why I want to say this, that I think we should not be deliberating so much on this whole petition and embalmment issue based on this, for my own thinking, is the fact that a petition has been written regarding this alleged crime. The petitioner has been summoned by the police. Now, there is an ongoing investigation to establish the facts about what truly happened regarding this case. So if we sit here and we start discussing this thing, what we'll be discussing are third-party information based on what we had. There is an ongoing investigation already to put clarity to this. So our discussion about, they said they embalm, if truly a crime, Darusha has committed any crime by tampering or embalming that body, the facts will be established, and if found guilty, he would be charged accordingly. So it was not about
Oluwatosi, can I
yes.
put? You see, for me, there is no law that bars us to discuss it if we want to educate ourselves. If the matter is in court, it could be prejudicial, but it also has its limit because the public can discuss it. Lawyers in that case might not be entitled to discuss it. Now, you say it is under investigation. The same information that is outside in the open, if it is a secret information, then we will say we don't know. But we are free to do exercise, mental exercise on things we know. We are only engaging ourselves. For you, I am not against your thought because it's your opinion.
Wait,
sir. Just let me finish my statement.
I was speaking to cut me. Now you are telling me to let you finish. I am making a statement. Let me finish. I was making a statement.
Discussion to go on within people in a very civilized way. It means it is something we are trying to educate ourselves about. But it is not. It is your opinion to say you don't think we should discuss about it. But to us, we are discussing about it. That is what I just want to say.
Okay.
And it is not illegal.
Say, please, I think maybe sometimes when we listen to ourselves, sometimes let us listen to comprehend. Before I started my statement, I said in my own opinion, and I think I am entitled to my own opinion. I am not saying it should not be discussed or it should not be dissected.
Mr. Oluwatosin.
Yes.
I will really appreciate it if you don't, indirectly throw some kind of words. Don't shady words. No. When you say, please, sir. When you say we should listen to comprehend, it's quite, that statement is quite. Like I said, we are
because
all,
wait, okay,
don't
let us make a mole out of nothing. What I'm trying to say is the fact that it is just let us listen to understand each other.
You can be with your guys as a man. You can be with your guys and you rub minds on things that you don't even agree on. Like you just rub minds, but you don't insult yourself.
Okay, Crown, I'm so sorry if you feel that word is actually an insult. So let me just break it down. Let us listen to understand, not listening maybe to argue or maybe to attack each other or anything. What I'm actually saying is my own opinion. And why I said that is very, very simple. That, there is so many light that is going to come out of this. Yes, we can discuss anybody. And like I said, any opinion or thought anybody is going to give regarding this subject, it is going to be on a third party information because nobody was really there or witnessed anything. But we can definitely discuss. Wait, listen to me now. Let me land. But we all can discuss based on available information in the public fora so that we can learn. One is actually this whole issue about if placing a salt on the dead body is actually an embalmment or not, which I might feel it is not an embalmment. And somebody maybe explain better and make us understand the fact that this thing, either you are calling it local or not local. It is embalmment. Like, I guess, was it yesterday or some few days ago, I was listening to Aristocrat show, and he made some establishment which made me feel like, okay, we might be thinking maybe placing the salt on his chest is not embalmment, but he read it in the law to which he quoted, like even preservation. And if you want to say it, okay, placing the salt, what exactly is the reason why you placed the salt on the chest? It is because you want to preserve the body either from getting decay or whatsoever. So the thing is, it is meant for the authorities and those in law to establish it maybe beyond our own layman understanding. So I am not saying nobody should not maybe discuss this whole issue or whatever. But for me, if a crime has been committed, definitely anybody found culpable should definitely face the law. So it is not as if like I'm coming here to come and defend Darusha or to come and say this. Fine, you said this thing is embalmment. You've written a petition already. So those people who are going to investigate and maybe even charge this case to court are already handling it. So I think that should be the least of my own worry regarding when it comes to this whole justice for Mohbad. Because the moment we want to start talking about embalmment or whatsoever, to me is before the body was being embalmed, if truly it was embalmed, the boy had died. And what we came out for regarding this whole justice for Mohbad is we want to know what killed the guy. So the embalmment comes after the death. Kí ni nǹkan tó pa Mohbad gangan? Òun gangan ni concern wa. Nǹkan tẹ́ fi òkú ẹ̀ ṣe lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn, or maybe he was embalmed, he was buried. Those are actually secondary. That is my own opinion. It is my own view. The number one thing that for now should be, so that we are not being diverted from the main cause and everything, is the fact that what truly killed this guy. And I think if we want to know that, every one of us, just like I do say, should actually put pressure on the authorities to please release the autopsy and the toxicology report so that we can truly know what led to this guy's death and if truly something went wrong along the line. So that's my own submission for now. Thank you.
Can I put in, Mr. Oluwatosi? You see, for me, I always like when I engage, logically. And we try to look at things just to educate ourselves. You see, things happen around us every day that we do, and they violate law because we don't know. Now, and in the palace of the law, they will say ignorance is not a defense that you do not know something. You see, since even in Nigeria, there is penal code, there is criminal code. Penal code is meant for the north, criminal code is meant for the south because of Sharia, playing. Now, there is a penal code that also address when you tamper with a corpse, or you bury a corpse, or you do not report to authorities. That is federal law. Now, states under the federal...
Can you please bring up Douglas?
Don't worry. Let's maintain what we have here. I will do that. Don't worry.
All right. So the state also enacts is law. Now in Lagos, because Lagos is a cosmopolitan state, and it used to be a federal capital, some laws came into existence because many people are there. And it does Coroner system of 2007. It came and it has seen that it has been a tradition that someone will die, people will not even check it. As people up more than 24 hours later, you don't die with that. They don't bury you. So the state is trying to curb those things, that there are instances where people will die after 24 hours, they will wake up again. And they don't want a situation where you bury someone that is still alive. That is why they made those laws and also make it a bit difficult. And in this case, just as you said, what killed, when killed, that is a valid thing that is going on. That is going on. But also, in the process of also handling a crime, some people also commit crime. Now, in the criminal jurisprudence, when you see a crime and you do not report it, it is a criminal offense, perversion of justice. When you are part of a crime, or you know, or you make decision about it, or you aided it, that is conspiracy before you go to the person that did it. Now, when it comes to these cops thing, just the way that many people were saying the nurse is an auxiliary nurse, she's a quack nurse. Why? Because she doesn't have license as a nurse. She's just an assistant. Now, someone that is not a mortician by profession, now turned to be doing something on a corpse. It means you have adjudicated to yourself a position that you are not. So under the law again, you contravene the law by doing an health responsibility that you are not even trained for. So there are a lot of things that goes on around us, and that is crime every day. Not all criminals will be caught, but the few that are caught are meant to be a kind of deterrent to all. The petitioner have made that petition. Yes, it is the job of the police to translate, to interpret the law by looking at it and referring to their legal people to see if a law has to court. But it is now an open document, and as public, we can also enlighten ourselves. Wow, if someone dies, don't rush to go and do anything. Go and involve the medical people, involve these people. Make sure that you are told the person is dead, and get a document that the person is dead before you do anything on the body. Because if someone goes to report such thing, you might be in trouble. And I think that is the education, really, aside, Darusha will be punished. No, for me, that is not. It is just for us to educate ourselves that such acts is punishable, and everybody should just be careful. Thank you very much.
Mr. Bayo, wait first.
Let's take Oluwatosin, then we'll take Lilibeth, then Mr. Bayo will speak.
Please, aristocrats, you see, I like your final submission, and that is what I was also trying to let our people understand. Your final submission nailed it all. What we ought to be doing is to actually educate ourselves. For me, I am not interested in if Darusha has committed a crime, then let him face the law. Let us educate ourselves. We should not be here saying, Darusha has done this, Darusha has done that issue. That is not what we should actually be doing. We might actually be sitting on different sides of this table, but there are so many things we can learn from each other. Everything should not be about we want to outdo each other. Aristocrat has made a fantastic submission. What we should be talking about is actually learning. Yes, you should not tamper with the body. You need to do this, you need to do that. That is it. So if we are actually here to discuss, Darusha is not supposed to do this, Darusha is not supposed to do that, within the context of justice for Mohbad, the deed has been done already. The deed has been done already. So nobody now can actually turn back the hands of time and say, okay, Darusha, do this, do that. Now it is left for the police to investigate and see if this man has truly committed any offense. I can be here and I'll be telling you, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. And the police will tell you he did it. And we can be here to say, he did this, he did this, he did this. And the police will tell you, in their own investigation and everything, he did not do anything contravening. So I think this whole, vindication and everything is in the hands of the police now. And we can learn from what has happened. That is my own submission. So if anybody still has any question, you can ask. And this is not about the fact that maybe I will see somebody say something that makes sense and I would not be able to agree with them because I feel like because maybe we are not on the same page and I want to disagree on this. That is not it. We are actually here not to argue, but to discuss and also to learn. So if Aristocrat says something that sits well with me, I'm definitely going to agree with him. If he says some certain things I don't agree with, I would disagree with him. So I think this is actually for the people in the comment section. Everything does not have to start with insult and curses. We can discuss, we can argue, and we can still be civil with it. God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you and I appreciate Mr. Aristocrat. I think this is just one of the ways to go about it. Like I said, all of us, many of us, as young guys, as adults, we argue with our close friends on the streets. We argue soccer, but we still try as much as possible to, learn from it. Like for me, for example, now, I don't know about embalming, and Freedom was able to like say there are 4 types of embalmment, and these are things that I want to learn. This discussion has nothing to do with a blame game discussion. We don't want to blame anybody. Like Mr. Oluwatosin has said, the deed has been done. What lesson are we going to learn from this? So it is not a matter of blaming game. It's not a matter of like I get there's something I actually picked from what Mr. Olu said, or is it Lilibet that said that in a Darusha statement, he said that Baba Mohbad told them to take the corpse back home, which I believe, and I strongly believe that Baba Mohbad has never made that statement, when he was speaking, but many of us did not even know. So it is high time we start thinking that there must have been mix-up in narratives. And I think this invitation that they are calling them, it's going to put more clarity in everything that that has been misconstrued or misunderstood in the in the first report and all of those things. So I think many of us have tried to ask questions that okay, what are the things? What these people have their own side of stories that these people have, they have things to say themselves. So it is not about, blame game now, but about learning the integral part of the law as well. Like Mr. Aristotle has said, there are things that we do every day that we don't know that we are actually committing crime, to be honest. And that is why we need to learn. So I will leave Mrs. Lilibet. You say you want to ask Mr. Aristotle a question. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to. Thank you for, clarifying all that. So, Aristocrat, with this petition, since we're talking about the petition, I remember when I read it, I saw something about disposal. Don't you think Baba Mo has also committed a crime by burying that body?
Now, it is a couple of things that we need to check here. You see, when it comes to criminal matter, you also look into primary, secondary, tertiary. You look at involvement. Now, if I should sit here, I can count a number of violations that happened from the hospital when Mohbad was brought in dead by the hospital and to the last time of burying him. I can count a number of crimes. Now, if someone raises that and send it to police will investigate it. Now, nobody have raised. I know before this petition, there was one discussion that someone was saying, hey, Baba Mohbad also committed a crime. He buried the body. Okay, what was the crime? He buried the body. He shouldn't have buried the body. Okay, what was he supposed to do? Now, you also consider a number of things to that. And he said, some people were saying he touched the evidence. I then asked that person, when did Baba Mohbad come to touch the evidence? No, he didn't touch it in person. He ordered it. I said, yes, I would think like they give the order. They will listen to him. But if you want to look at who touched the body, you must look from primary before you get to tertiary. Now, primarily, when the body was certified dead in 2 hospitals, what were they advised to do? Were they advised to put the body at home or go to the morgue? If they are advised to go to the morgue, which means that is the professional advice which they ought to have done. Just tell the hospital, give us ambulance to take it to the morgue. So if that was not done, taking it from that hospital that day, after it was certified dead, you give it to the hospital to take care of this, you give us ambulance to take it to wherever we want to take it, then give us document to do it. Or they ask you to go and get police report. So there are procedures to take. So we will now say, who then tampered with it? That is a secondary aspect of it. Also, we could also evidently, from the narration we all heard, that the body was taken to morgue. Not aside whatever was reported. In a situation like that, what do you expect? They have to bury it. If you look at Muslims, they will bury it. It has shown that they've tried to report it, but they don't have certain documents. And they went ahead. Now, things happen after the burial that brought this up. But if there is any way, and I know lawyers were involved in this, if there are any way anyone through the law might have violated any law, someone needs to bring it up and notify the police authority. The police authority will investigate it. So to an extent, I would say even police will look at what petition is about. Before they even invite whoever that is named on it, they will look at it, they will check it in their own procedural way. They'll say, okay, this is how we will take this matter, now invite someone. And I think that should be left for them. But we can always talk about the rhetorics, who touches that, who touches that. They are rhetorics, and there are things. That is something K. Crown said earlier. He said he was able to observe something of such that we are talking about that was done to his father-in-law. And what did they do in that? They put salt in a bowl and put it on a body. It means it has an effect on that corpse. It means. Now, today, someone sent me something and say, from Adura, Darosha's page, where he was talking about the stress and everything. And he mentioned there that he did something to the body because he saw it that it was done. What was the purpose? The purpose for him, whether you agree, whether you use any semantics that you take it through. Embalmment also means preservation. Now, in the law, it talks about preservation in that section. He mentioned embalmment or somewhere very long, but it talks about preservation. And in section 48 of that law I was talking about, subsection 1, he said anyone who used chemical to preserve a corpse.
Sorry, Aristocrat, how come you've gone back to embalmment? I'm talking about disposal.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm saying. I'm reading the section of the law. Now, in that section 16, if you go further, it spoke about disposal. Disposal is where you bury part of it. Under the law, that is a crime for that is a punishment for it. Now, what I've just said, which I've explained that to you to say that if anyone had violated law, the job for anyone that notices it is to do what was done. So, debating it is good. Is a good exercise. It's a brain exercise. You need to an authority to investigate it. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, that's fine, of course. What were we saying before this government came up again?
Hold on, let Mr. Bayo say something there, and I will give Dawa class his own floor. Then
Okay.
we can wrap it up with something else. Mr. Bayo. Hello, Mr. Bayo. All right. Let me, Mr. Dawa class, if you are there, you can go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, good day, good afternoon, everybody. And hello to everybody in the comment section. So, I've been hearing a whole lot of things about this coronary law of Lagos State, section 16 and section 48. I'll be quoting them verbatim, and please, I'd like to make some explanations. Section 16 reads the line within a coronary's district by way of chemical preservation, dismemberment, or disposal by any form, prior to the conduct of a post-mortem examination, except by the prior authorization of the medical examiner. Now, going further to section 48, I'm scrolling down. Just give me section 48. Okay, it says offenses and penalties. Any person, one, who carries out chemical preservation, dismemberment, or disposal of the body of a person who died offense and is liable on conviction to 15 years imprisonment with no option of fine. Okay, good. Now, thank you very much. Now, the issue here is the word embalmment, and I think this issue is causing a whole lot of brouhaha on social media presently. Now, embalmment actually means preservation of a corpse. So it cannot be answered by people who study the law except a pathologist. That is somebody that is the medical practitioner that practices embalmment itself. Okay, so are we all pathologists? No. Have we asked a pathologist about the usage of salt for embalmment? Now that is the issue. We all just come here. Have we made our research on how salt is used for embalmment? Now that is the issue here. That is the issue here. Have we gone to any mortuary in Nigeria that salt or bags of salt are used for preservation, that the corpses are just lined one after the other and bags or plates of salt are put on them? No, it doesn't happen. But where does this happen? Why is salt actually used? Everybody is using used to control the humidity, the atmospheric humidity. Make some stupid narratives. Now, the usage of salt for embalmment, how is it done? Is it by placing salt on the person's chest? No. Now, this practice was actually used 3,000 years ago. It's as old as 3,000 years ago, and it was practiced by the Egyptians. Now, how did they do this? They call this mummification of corpses. Many times the pharaohs of Egypt that were placed in the Egyptian tomb, that is the pyramid tomb you find in Egypt presently, they mummified salt. That is the issue. Now, how did they embalm with salt? Now, I'm going to give you a very fast description of it, and I hope people are taking notes. They said the first thing they're going to do is to insert a hook through a hole near the nose and pull out part of the brain. 2, they are to make a cut on the 4, they are to let the internal organs dry. 5, they are to place the lungs, intestine, stomach, and liver inside Coptic jars. 6, with wine and spices. 8, cover the corpse with salt for 70 days. Please, I hope people are taking notes of this. Number 8, cover the corpse with salt for 70 days. Number 9, after 40 days, stuff the body with linen or sand to give it a more human shape. Number 10, after the 70 days, wrap the body from head to toe in bandages. Number 11, you place in a sarcophagus. That is a type of a box like a coffin. So that is how they use salt. And people that are Yoruba here, I hope you understand what is called eroniyo. This is a type of way for you to preserve Ramadan meat. By Muslims, they make use of. They do this very, very often by preserving ram meat. They preserve ram meat by salt. And how do they do this? They rub it with salt thoroughly. Was this the practice they did on Mohbad? No. Now, people don't know that even you owning fan, if you don't see salt, but you owning fan or you switch off fan and you bring up lantern very close to a body, you are trying to it's not that you are embalming the person. That is not called local embalmment. That is what you call, go and ask any the humidity of the atmosphere. The salt there is absorbing the moisture in the atmosphere. You are dehumidification to them that, what they did, they don't do it in any mortuary. They only do this to control the room humidity and make everywhere very warm. Very warm. So that explains the aspects of it's about something very interesting. Let me just go there. It talks about snake. And thank God, Yalolade has helped us to say that it was a pastor while he was trying to anoint Mohbad that this broke his neck, that the anointing oil broke his neck. There's video evidence about this, and in fact, Mr. Loba was actually in the video. He was listening to Yalolade explaining what happened to his son's neck. Now let us proceed. It also talked about there's also a part of it that talks about the disposal. And disposal is not just because I was listening to Aristocrat. Aristocrat said primary, secondary, and remote stuff. It's not all about, they went to the to the hospital.
Sorry,
and
class. Can I put in?
Please let me finish my point, please.
No,
please
sorry.
let me finish my point, please.
I just want to correct something.
Disposal can be of any type. You could bury, you could pour acid, you could cremate. Taking away the body to hide the body. Disposal means you just you doing something to the body that it changes you seeing it physically. So let's continue. To the conduct of a post-mortem. If you dispose a body prior to the conduct of a post-mortem, what does a post-mortem mean? They're talking about an autopsy here, not a doctor confirming or certifying a body dead. No, that's not a post-mortem. A post-mortem is an autopsy. Now you're disposing a body without and even a prior authorization of the medical examiner. So who authorized? Because we have videos of Baba even saying he was the person arranging things. He was the person saying, okay, do this, Darisha, take 1 million, do this, and he was taken to the police station and he arranged everything. He said it with his mouth. So the question Lilibet was asking you was that, don't you think Baba was even guilty of this section 16 that is being quoted? It is very evident that Baba disposed, he arranged the burial of his son. He arranged it because he was saying that he was taking about 2 rooms away, but it was from there that he was giving orders, okay, do this, do this, do this. He even said that he told them to cement it, to plaster the grave. He also told them to cut the grass around the place. He also told them to even fence the place around. So he was in control of every activity of the burial. Now that is not just the only issue we have here. I hope you know that also in the criminal law of Lagos State that you don't bury a corpse in residential homes in an open place that is at least 100 miles before residential houses. If you are to do that, you have to collect an authorization from the president or from the governor. 6 months imprisonment. I hope you know this. So this is what the issue here I'm saying is this. All what we are saying now, we are not policemen. We are not policemen. We are not in charge of the case. We are not in charge of the petition. It's not that the people going there tomorrow are coming to our homes to answer to the petition, but we're only discussing it, and our opinions might count and it might not count. We are just ordinary citizens, interested parties to this discussion. So whatever happens tomorrow, we're leaving it to the police to handle the case. We're leaving it to the justice, the right people to do the justice to handle the case. I don't care what people say in the comment section. I just come here to speak my mind, and I believe K Crown, thanks for having me. Aristocrats, thanks for being very civil. I love your engagement. Freedom, Lilibet, thanks for having me. I only said I should come here, share my points, share what I have in mind, and I believe embalmment has been treated, and people now know how they use salt for embalmment now. That practice is as old as 3,000 years, and it was practiced by Egyptians. So placing of salt is dehumidification. Placing of salt on someone's chest is dehumidification. Go and ask any pathologist, they will tell you there's no mortuary in Nigeria that practices it. No mortuary in Nigeria organizes bags of salt that they will not be putting salt on people's chest. They don't do that. In fact, what they do is they call degutting. They are going to remove your internal organs, and they are going to stuff formalin, inject formalin into the person's body. So that is how they preserve or they put you in freezers. So that is what they do.
Can I ask you a couple of questions? Number
Okay.
Sorry, please, can we move away from this topic?
No. We are learning something.
Aristocrats, you sound far away. Are you using an earpiece or something?
Dawa class, are you listening?
Please let Mr. Aristocrat talk, please.
Of Mr. Aloba, they do not want to start coming publicly to trade and trade barter with him or exchange words. But when the time comes, a whole lot of things would come out. On that note, I want to say, K Crown, thank you for having us on your platform, and Aristocrats, maybe some other time again.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The reason why I'm actually shutting down this live is not because there is nothing to talk about, but because I just want us to, take our information bit by bit and not try to overstretch things. The reason why we are having so many hosts having given problems because they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to stop. They just want to keep long and long. No, I don't divulge information like that. I don't have a discourse like that. So by God's grace, tomorrow, after the report,
Moses or Mose, we discussed the autopsy and the toxicology report, okay? Because obviously there's been a kind of palpitation regarding, there's a lot of corruption. The only thing you can do is to be able to monitor the process, to be able to confirm whatever result that is given. But the possibility of corruption, I don't think it should be doubted. It should not be doubted. As long as some individuals are involved. I mean, we have had so many persons who are of old age. Let me say that they were already going to retire in the next 2, 3, 4 years. Their license doesn't matter to them anymore. The most important thing for any practitioner should be their license. Okay? But some persons that are already going to be retiring the next 1 to 3 years, I mean, they don't matter. They can do anything. And that's why you have to look at the kind of people who was given the tax. Was it old men who are already there trying to retire? Or maybe some young lad? So a lot of things plays out in situations like this. But to be safer, I guess that you should have an alternative. Whatever result that is given, you should be able to confirm it in the body of the deceased by going there to have your own autopsy done, by having your own examinations. This is the only way you can confirm whatever that is given. Without such a confirmation, I don't think you can 100% rely on a result which cannot 100% be trusted, especially because of the political situation in this case. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know what you mean. It go be, it go be. Now there with you. Did you see what I shared to you or not? So that is the thing. Immediately I requested, the guy didn't even bring me up. I didn't even know what was going on. I was just hearing 10 minutes ago, that class said he was leaving. I was leaving. I am leaving. This is the last question. The last question. Did you listen to the lady that spoke on there that was saying Wunmi spent 5 hours at the Coroner inquest, blah blah blah. That she's done enough. Mm-hmm. She said how the husband died. No.
Justice, are you here? Yeah, go on.
Is it our class platform? Or
I went there because I thought it was aristocrat. I usually don't go up like that. They told me aristocrat. Just must say aristocrat was live. So I felt like if it's aristocrat one, fine.
That's great. And you more your background is so Yoruba.
What is so Yoruba? Why the Yoruba wonder class?
So, and even Lizzie Diamond. Lenchi from doing Lenchi.
Like me too, I'm born in Lagos and I grew up in Lagos, so I can speak in Yoruba very well.
Oh, you are Edo?
Now, the matter the law or not. But that law exist? Has that person violated the law according to petition? Yes. Has police called the person to come and be answering? Yes. So let's leave police. If police charges them to court, it then shows that they violated the law. And police will not just investigate based on police. Police have enough resources. You call the medical people to ask questions, they will. But the question is, whatever they did to that body according to that law that says tampering, the word tampering is the first line before anything. Did anyone tamper with the body? If someone tampered with the body and someone has reported one person, then let the police take it up. So if nobody tampered with the body, it's another thing. They were talking about salt. You put salt and all that. Whether you put salt, you don't put salt. If someone quotes what Baba said, they will say, were you there? If they are quoting their own, they talk as if they were there. Okay. I then told them, if you are not there, you don't talk about it. I asked them simple question, they are saying something else. Why will someone come to your home, inject your loved one, and the person left without you reporting to the police? Why would you take weeks after for you to do it? They didn't answer it.
He didn't answer. I listened.
Yeah. Our class tried to debate. It's okay. The lady was saying that is someone that texts. Someone is always...
Do this ballet. The ballet must do press release statement, apology, so that we can now go back and say this is his apology. But you can't find his apology.
With video. You must go
exactly.
to the station.
So let us push for that. Let's push for that.
People can't just do whatever they like.
The same thing the ballet did, the same thing Iyalolade did. I'm suspecting two of them right now. They are not in that position. Ballet, you are a friend to Baba, you know Baba, how peaceful that man is, and you went to take bribe and you did that nonsense. Iyalolade, okay, everybody's complaining about the neck, we are crying. The next thing, you underestimated it, that that the neck was straight in the casket, as if we don't know casket was short. How can that casket contain Mohbad in the first place? It cannot contain Mohbad. So don't tell us the head was straight. It was when they lifted it, anointed it, then it mistakenly bent when they were putting it back. Don't tell us like that. You have to prove to us.
Somebody is quoting you wrong.
To apologize and said he was only compelled to say everything that he said that night. He is sorry.
He's an idiot.
And that is why I'm saying that for that he did, okay, now Baba have to, God, no matter what I say, it's not going to be useful. Okay, that is why I have to wait for Baba. When they need money, I will stop people from contributing money. Let them learn how to do the right thing. I say my hand.
Somebody that they have beat me where I go.
How do you want to prove to the whole right now? Don't demand the Baba apologize and Baba forgive him. But where do you see that right now? We want it on social media. But if we tell all of them now, there are so many things we have told all of these guys. They won't do it. They will just say we have noted. That's why when they come to me that they need money, I like to be against money. Go fund me. Any money they need, I will crush them there. I think
Baba team should
get justice.
Baba team should try and go and interview that man, then they should post it. And Papa.